You already know he's in the building. I want to thank my Heavenly Father, ancestors, extended ancestors, archangels, regular angels, all our light beings, all divine beings, all high vibrational beings, all timelines, dimensional portals, etc., times of infinity. Come. This is for the people that's, truly involved in my situation. One of the main characters, you know. Love. I don't know why. Really don't care why. Because no answer you could give me could actually, you know, correct or put any lenience on how you portrayed yourself, how you promoted yourself, how you made yourself look. It bothers me because you already know or knew what type of person I am or was. And also how foolishly I felt about it. You tried to, you did steal something. You stole a couple of things for a little while, you know, trying to buy time to complete, your mission or your objective for your favor, not my favor, but strictly for your favor. And for the popularity, respect, reputation of being somebody that you would never, you know, well, I'm not going to say never. If you actually put the work in, anything's possible. I did see greatness in you, but you took that standard and you shattered it. You didn't go beyond it. You fell far, far, far down. I don't like fake people. Never did, never cared for them. I don't like a person that say what they say and make it animate on it's definite. That's especially when we talking about ourselves, who we are, who we, projecting to the other person to know what they dealing with, at least to a certain point, and then from there, as the relationship or friendship or whatever it is moves on, you will actually see if that individual is actually holding weight to their speech. Most of my life, I ran into individuals like that, like you. So it kind of makes it easy for you to see the fakeness for the simple fact if you ever actually truly listen to me in our interactions. I would say certain things when you do certain things. No anger, no, you know, no funny business, but like, did you hear what you said? Are you listening? And then, I say something like that, and it would jump into another conversation like, that didn't exist. So I'll try to bring it back, and it'll flip into another conversation. We'll be jumping here and there, all to avoid what was seen through. You know, I don't know where any of y'all ever knew me to be unintelligent. You don't even have to say highly, but just say intelligent. Just for me having intelligence, not an airhead. Where you forget about that, and y'all know better than that. So I don't understand how y'all fooled yourselves into believing that I was an airhead or dumb or unintelligent in any capacity. I find it funny that individuals that made it their business to be around me for as long as they have, or for the time that they have, and then disappear and then maybe come back to the same person, not mad, not feeling any different. Just happy to see that my friend or whoever is okay. And 9 times out of 10, y'all going through something when y'all decide to show up. And still, it don't bother me. It didn't bother me, but it shows you, or shows me, what to expect, what to see, especially when you're talking about years of it. So it's not that I didn't see it. It's not that I didn't say nothing either. I have. I have spoke on certain shit, but you hear it, you acknowledge it at that second, and you decide to, do it again. Who's the one that actually was losing? I was losing because I didn't know the full aspect of the reason why y'all was gravitated to me or made it your way to be around me whenever y'all made it the way to be around. Only thing I did was enjoy the time that, we experienced together. And you know how I keep it. I keep it on a light vibe, smooth vibe, cool vibe. We could do anything. I have no problem with it as long as we cool. Mm. But now things is totally different. I know why certain situations occurred, why it occurred, why it might come back, to see if I will allow it to occur again. If, like, I don't know what's going on. I already told you. I already seen it. I just didn't know I was supposed to just cut y'all completely off. You know what? I ain't fucking with y'all because, y'all on some bullshit. But now I know y'all on some bullshit. So that makes it easy. But, you know, hacking my equipment, stealing and selling my, personal information, ID, birth certificate, and whatever. Having some type of criminal organization, including the criminal organization with my family, my mom, and whoever, godmother, and whatever consists of my bloodline on that note. Then my children's mother, my twins' mother, that somehow is connected deeply with all that. And then you. connected to whatever, however, and you was already warned. You had more of a warning than any of the other individuals that have been turned against you. But yet, you want to try to throw subliminals, telepathy. You want to, you know, put your energy in situations in a good light, which, you know, I know you haven't even tried. You just want to save face and try to complete what you thought that you completed the first time with your early rejoicing and celebrations. And then now look at the situation that's going on that you caused, that you spent money on to bring upon devastation and death and sorrow throughout my life until death. And then when that didn't happen, it was strictly death, 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 death. Now death is affecting not just you, but the ones you hold closest to you, and also throughout the whole connections of the networks of the energies that, you know, tried to be bullies or gang or, how you say, self-righteous, holy people, which is funny. God don't need nobody to do no assassin work unless he tells you personally, I am a receiver, I am a seer, I am a prophet, I am a being that allows himself to be used by the divine to learn, to gain understanding, wisdom, and to be truly free of disillusion. I truly grieve for all your situations, but those situations is not in my hands, just like what I was going through because of, you know, all of y'all, no matter how, if you was involved just because of YouTube. I'm sorry if you came in at the very latter. You got caught up in some bullshit and gonna pay just as even with all the ones that had years of doing shit. Like I said, I grieve for all of y'all, that's suffering because of, you know, our ignorance, our, our, our greed, our unconscious motive of feeding or serving our vessel, our temple, however it wants to be fed, instead of feeding it what it needs, what it's supposed to have. You know, it's not just what we put in our system as far as what we eat and, to sustain ourselves, but also what we hear, what we resonate with, what we constantly take in. That is also food. There's good fruit and bad fruit. A lot of us, we know the good fruit. We like this good fruit for the parts that, that we live in. And then there's another side of all of us that, entertains that exciting, rebel, dark side that, the devil or evil make an illusion of that, you know, it is the you're not a square. You walk in a straight line or you doing this the straight thing. You're a queer. You what you call, you know, you a nobody type thing. Now for decades, hundreds, maybe even thousands of years until we get, you know, we well not maybe, but guaranteed, but more. So we got to this timeline where we so-called is intelligent and upgraded and evolved. We supposed to be the epic evolvement of the human species as a collective. We supposed right now we're supposed to be, which we all know that it ain't, especially if you know anything about ancient history and the stories of the technology that they had back then that we can't even perform to this day, which we will be. We back here now, especially with God's people tap truly back in. If He wants those technologies to be brought back, I guarantee you it will. He will provide that information to who need that information to make it so. And it's crazy. Like, I'm gonna give the collective, for instance, the ones that are going through awakening, or when they are going through awakening, that I guarantee you experience this. So this will be one of the signs. Something that I done spoke and knew all my life from in the area that I grew up in. I was raised in the Bronx, Mott Haven Project. I live in Building 7, that's right next to the firehouse, but it's on the outskirts of the project. It's not actually, connected or in the heart of the project. The heart of the project, is the play area, sitting area, you know, basketball area and stuff for the kids, whatever. That's the middle. I have always known to stay away from there. If I do go there, get to hang out for a little hot second and get up out of there. It's never I'm there every day, all day, like what we would do. I never, well, I knew that it was dangerous. I knew a lot of people that was getting hurt was individuals that really shouldn't have been, sad losses. If you live by the gun, we can understand you die by the gun. But the ones that wasn't living by the gun is getting laid down because they're around the ones that live by the gun. And people that come after those people, it's not actually coming. They just are scared and they just letting off to be letting off and pray for whoever they get, which that shit is also crazy. But I can't worry about that. The only thing I could do is worry about myself and make sure I do make the correct choices to avoid, situations like that as best as possible, and ask my God to, protect me and steer me in the right way. Give me those signs. Give me warnings. Tap me. This shit. You have to jump in me and take control type shit. If that's the case, you know. But get into that. So to find out that the community and my closest friends are involved or were involved and still involved, it wasn't hard to, you know, take that in. It hurted. I you know, I did want to deny certain shit, whatever, but you ask questions, and as you ask questions, you stay aware, keep your senses open, stay present, listen with, your whole being, and your answers will, be told to you. So to find out that not one at the time could come with me, and still, if the ones that are doing they work on themselves don't, make it to whatever mark that our Heavenly Father states, I have to stay away from them too. But I also congratulate them. I also cheer them on to keep going, because your purpose is your purpose, and as long as you strive and listen and do those benchmarks, like all of us that get to this point has to do, like it or not, celebrate and don't give up, man. Don't give up. Know that he did. Know that he's forgiven. Know that if you sorrowful and you making your best attempt on an everyday basis, as long as he allow you to wake up, it's a total restart to start making those changes. Do changes happen overnight? No. Do certain do sometimes they do? Yeah. It depends on just what it is and how far you are with whatever you know and however you know in that category. But we all pay for everything. Nobody gets away from paying their debt, their karma, you know, their spiritual bank. That's what karma is. Karma is you being in debt in your spiritual bank. You done spent all your good time, all your good money, and now you borrowing on your good, your good karma, to stay away from your bad karma, so you don't, but y'all don't put nothing or do nothing to start accumulating good karma to get out that bad karma. And the ones that you see that maintain or have abundance of good karma, y'all come after your target, especially if they not awoken yet. Can't you see that we're devils doing things like that, doing anything against anybody else for gain, for jealousy, for greed, for anything, but it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad I, avoided or tried to avoid gaining bad karma through doing mischievous shit just to be doing mischievous shit. Like I said, I ain't no, I ain't perfect, and believe me, I ain't perfect. I got a hell of a bad side that I keep contained. I ask the universe, my God, and everything in me and in creation to keep that at bay at all costs, because it ain't worth it. It costs too much for everybody. And then I'm one of the two extremes, and I've been holding and releasing a whole lot of unjust stuff that I knew about. And now I'm learning even more, which that should have me enraged. I should be bouncing off the walls. I should be putting on them. Pulling out the maps and doing all, doing shit for real. And it's not worth it, man. And at the end of the day, I see y'all suffering. And I might have not, well, I did see your suffering. Because when I pop up here and I'm as helpful as I am, I did something, but y'all just didn't acknowledge it. You know, it was no thanks. It was no, it was kept silent. And then secretly, you know, secretly animized or demised or however, however it's supposed to be said. And, and that speaks for oneself. It don't speak about me. It speaks about y'all. It speaks about you. And these are the things that we claim that we not, or we claim that we are, but yet none of us is living it. You know? We all smiling, talking about we the good guy, but secretly we doing all types of dumb shit. If we could capitalize on something, on somebody in some situation, think it look good enough where we don't get caught. 9 times out of 10, we gonna jump in it, and then when we get caught or caught up, it's oh shit, damn man, what the fuck? Yo, like what the fuck is your fault? If I didn't listen to you, or if I didn't, you know, it's not their fault. It's all your fault. It was your fault for knowing that it was deceptive. Anything deceptive could go wrong. Anything. It don't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Even the truth. The only thing that lasts forever is the truth. A lie disappears. The truth stands the test of time till eternity. It will always be there because it's solid. It has a strong foundation, and not just a strong foundation, a strong structure completely, because it's all built on truth. Just start living in truth. You're a wicked motherfucker. Say it. Be proud of it. If you ain't proud of it, start changing it. But let it be known. I'm a wicked motherfucker. I tell you that I have no problem with taking a life. I don't want to. I would never want to. But if you push me that far in the corner, where it's either me or you, my choice will be you all the time. Not you surviving. It will be me surviving. But if it was truly my choice, we wouldn't be in that situation. Everybody wins. There is no losers. That's the thing with competition. Competition, there's losers. When there is no competition, there's just union, alignment, togetherness, working towards the same goal in the same, how you say, integrity, in good integrity. Where do we lose at? We all win. Everybody in that situation wins. Everybody in that situation grows. And it can spread. Now it's more where what you call we got, and it's more where we could get help somebody that don't. Imagine if we work like that in everything, man. And it's not hard. You are me, I am you. Start looking at it that way. I'm not saying don't defend yourself. I'm saying be aware, be smart, avoid if you can avoid, because once it's done, you better have truth behind you. And even with truth in this world, you still pay. Especially in New York City, there is no self-defense law. So you could come and do something stupid, wanting to take my life, and it end up happening the other way. I'm still gonna pay for your stupidity, not my stupidity. Even if I got all the witnesses say and I'm gonna do they I can't, I'm not gonna get thrown away. I ain't gonna disappear, but I will pay some type of way. And then forget this world. Everything we do is recorded up in heaven. They see all. And if God don't see it, one of his angels or his servants see it, and you think they ain't wanted the daddy? Your daddy, yo, let me tell you something. I seen such and such, such and such, such and such. You know how, like, if you had a little brother, little sister that always tattle on you, or was happy, to say what they saw about what you was doing. But you was just, you would say that they was the baby, or, the favorite, or the one that's spoiled. That's all of them up there. And God wants to spoil us. And they doing theirs. They doing what's right up there. You think they ain't doing what for them to even be with them like that and have a position or doing whatever they doing as far as watching us? It's because they good. Like, I don't know. But just know, when you're going through your awakening, the stuff that you hear, you already know. Just know that. That's this straight truth. And then you don't even have to hear names. In the beginning, it's going to kind of be but you're going to get things. And then after a while, when you get familiar, seasoned through a month, 2 months, because I say that because I don't know how fast you'll pick, depends on you, how fast you pick up, or or how slow you pick up on whatever you pick up. But just know all of that is God, divine timing. You'll never be ahead of schedule. You'll never be behind schedule. Have that faith too, and you're not going to just take my word for it. You'll have a whole lot of support system that's going to constantly nudge you and speak to you and give you that motivation, that encouragement, that inspiration, that feeling that you good. And the more you start doing it, the more you start trusting it. Even with the falling off, where you start, I don't, you might not believe, but fight that off. That's just the devil playing with you. He want to see if he could get you to keep you back, to keep you in the situation that you used to. And that's the fun. I just had a realization with with this situation. God puts us in, and wipes our memory, not completely, but wipes our memory where we don't remember, where we remember if we do certain things and get to a certain state where the remembrance will come back. But while our mind is, wiped or, blocked, our consciousness is blocked. The devil has his day. he gets to do his manipulation, and it's all to see how the unconscious spirit in you handles and moves and operates around it, against it, or change for it. Hell of an insight. Now, with that insight, it should be a lot easier for a lot of people too. That the things we go through is for the growing of us. It's the lesson. It's the purifying. It's you being thrown in the fire and burning off the pieces of dirt and glit that we done picked up along the way into our awakening. How powerful and majestic and awe-inspiring you are, my Lord. But this is a blessing to all of y'all. I'm gonna get off of this one, and I'm gonna come back when I feel it's time to come back. Stay blessed and use that brain and know that God is real.